First news is First Lady brings holiday cheer to sick kids. Michelle Obama loved Barbie dolls as a girl. She now prefers Christmas without snow. After living most of her life in Chicago, she isn't sure how she will celebrate her 50th birthday in about a month, but says it might involve some dancing. Revelations from a new interview with a glossy magazine. Guess again. The First Lady disclosed these tidbits and a few more, including what's on the Christmas gift list for her husband and 2 dogs. During an annual holiday visit Monday with patients at Washington leading Children's Hospital. It included a question and an answer session with a pin-sized patient, 40 questions in all. I don't care questions from the press. They will tell you that, Mrs. Obama replied to one questioner as she sat in front of a towering Christmas tree in the atrium of Children's National Health System. I only take questions from you guys once a year here. Her appearance continued a First Lady tradition that dates back more than 60 years to Beth Truman, who first brought holiday cheer to children not well enough to leave the hospital in time for Christmas. Mrs. Obama first visited privately with patients and staff before coming to the atrium to read a Christmas classic. Twas the night before Christmas, to another group of children and their adult companions or nurse. She brought a long family dog bowl and a sunny for added cheer. Asked to name her favorite holiday song, the First Lady instead broke into song, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. She sang before dryly noting, I forgot the press was here. Her best Christmas gift, I'm sure it was some Barbie-related thing. When I was little, I loved Barbie dolls, and I had everything Barbie, Mrs. Obama said. I had the townhouse and the car and all the little outfits, and the shoes that never stay on their feet. She's no longer a fan of white Christmas masses. The truth is now that I'm older, I prefer a Christmas without snow, Mrs. Obama said. When you are older, you know, old people, snow is hassle. You've got to shove it, and then when the ice falls on your car windshield, there's nothing worse than scraping that off. She turns 50 on January 17th, but hasn't finalized her birthday party plans. I'm going to be 50 and fabulous, the First Lady said, pumping a face high above her head. I'm not exactly sure yet what I'm going to do, but it might involve some dancing. As for family Christmas gifts, President Barack Obama most likely will get workout clothes. He said that's what he wanted, she said. The dogs are getting too chew toys. Eldest daughter, Malia, 15, wanted a cell phone, but Mrs. Obama said her father spoiled that plan by getting one for her earlier. The next news is Worcester ice storm in ears. Wallopos, Texas, much of the Midwest. Tens of thousands of people remained without power here late Friday after a massive winter storm blanketed North Texas in a thick coat of freezing rain and sleet. Police pleaded with motorists to stay off frozen freeways. Ice on power lines forced public transportation officials to suspend the region's light rail service. Dallas walls are part of a surf coast snap stretching more than 1,000 miles from the southern plains to New England. This will be the worst ice storm for the United States since January 2009, and will affect many of the same areas as that storm, said J.C. Farrell, weather expert and the storm chaser for AccuWeather.com. The National Weather Service issued ice and winter storm advisories for more than a dozen states: Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee, where thousands are also without power, have already declared states of emergency. Treacherous driving conditions were blamed for several deaths across the country, according to the Associated Press. Government forecasters warn of possible prolonged power outages in some areas from central Texas to the lower Ohio Valley. While the precipitation had moved out of North Texas by Friday afternoon, the Weather Service painted a frigid picture as the storm rumbles east, as the upper-level frozen associated with the Arctic front pushes eastward this evening and tomorrow. The threat of wintry precipitation will shift eastward from the mid-south into the Appalachians, northern mid-Atlantic, and southern New England. As late as the night progresses, additional ice accumulations of less than a quarter of an inch are expected from extreme northern Mississippi, northeastward to southern New England through early Saturday. Behind the band of freezing rain, snow is expected to accumulate 1 to 5 inches from across the central Appalachians through central New England through tonight. Jeff Masters, meteorologist at Weather Underground, wrote that the Arctic air will bring temperatures 10 to 40 degrees below average to more than 80% of the contiguous U.S. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The winter weather crippled airports as well. Thousands of flights were canceled across the country. American Airlines headquartered in Dallas-Fort Worth called off nearly 1,000 flights. In North Texas, where temperatures are not expected to get above freezing until possibly Sunday afternoon, the storm dumped 1 to 3 inches of sleet late Thursday and early Friday. Freezing rain snapped tree branches and crusted power lines in ice. Customers and power companies were using social media to report and respond to outages. In Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, reserve power line crews were being called from other states to try and restore heat to homes. In Richardson, north of Dallas, Amanda Fletcher said she was roused out of bed at 4 a.m. Friday when a 35-year-old hackberry tree came crashing down in her front yard. The impact set off the alarm on a car parked nearby. It was a really big tree, Fletcher told Yahoo News. It's crazy that it didn't land on anything. The whole tree is covered in ice. The hardest hit areas could see more of the sand by Saturday when a second storm system, which is already bringing snow to parts of California, Oregon, and Nevada, pushes east across the plains and into the Midwest. The frigid forecast was unwelcome news to some 25,000 runners who had planned to participate in Sunday's Dallas Marathon. Race officials called off the event early Friday afternoon. We regret that the race will not go on as planned, but are confident this decision is in the best interest of our runners, volunteers, and spectators, and the general public, the organizers wrote on their website. The next news is R&B singer Chris Brown's probation revoked after DC assault charge. R&B singer Chris Brown had his probation revoked by a Los Angeles judge on Monday, but he was not taken into custody because of good reports on his progress in a court-ordered rehab program. Brown, 24, had his probation revoked by Los Angeles Superior Court Judge James R. Brandlin during a progress hearing after he was charged with assault in Washington, D.C. in October for punching a man who was trying to get a picture with the singer. Brown pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor assault after the altercation left a 20-year-old man with a broken nose. He voluntarily served a 2-week stay in rehabilitation facility for anger management after his October arrest, but Brandlin ordered Brown to complete a 90-day substance abuse and anger management program in November. The singer was set free without bail on Monday and was given praise by Brandlin for doing well in the program. Brown was told to refrain from medical marijuana use until his next Los Angeles hearing on February 10th. The Grammy-winning singer is due in court in Washington, D.C. on January 8th for the status hearing on his misdemeanor assault charge. The singer was sentenced to 5 years probation, community, labor and domestic violence counseling in 2009 after assaulting his then girlfriend Rihanna. Since then, Brown has been embroiled in high-publicized altercations with rapper Drake and his entourage in a New York nightclub, and the R&B singer Frank Ocean in a parking lot in West Hollywood. Then, the Look at Me Now singer has had his probation revoked in July after he was charged in a mass hit-and-run traffic accident, but it was reinstated by a Los Angeles judge in August after Brown agreed to complete an additional 1,000 hours of community service. The next news is New Mexico teacher on leaving after telling black student Santa is white. A New Mexico high school student, a New Mexico high school teacher who questioned an African American student's decision to dress up as Santa Claus on the grounds that the mythical North Pole figure was white has been put on paid administrative leave, an official said on Monday. Students at Cleveland High School in Rio Rancho, just north of Albuquerque were told last week they could dress up as holiday characters, but when Christopher Rieger, an African American ninth grader, showed up dressed as Santa Claus, he was called out by the teacher. "Christopher, don't you know Santa Claus is white?" Why are you wearing that? The student's father, Michael Rogers, told local television station KOB, relating what he described as the teacher's remarks. The boy's father said his son felt ashamed and embarrassed by the remark, which came to light amid an ongoing media spat over Santa's skin color after a Fox anchor asserted last week on the air that Santa Claus was white. And by the way, for all of your kids watching at home, Santa just is white. But this person is just arguing maybe we should also have a black Santa. Fox anchor Megan Kelly said, but you know, Santa is what he is. The remarks by Kelly, which prompted a social media firestorm, came in response to a Slate.com article arguing that Santa should not be defined as a member of a specific race, suggesting he be pictured instead as a penguin. In the New Mexico incident, a statement released by the school said the teacher involved had made a dumb mistake and had apologized to the family. The situation involves a teacher recently hired by Cleveland High, who made and admits he made a stupid mistake. The remark was inappropriate and should not have been made, said Kim Wesley, Director of Parent, Community and Staff Engagement for Rio Rancho Republic Schools. Wesley said the teacher, who has not been publicly identified and could thus not be reached for comment, had been put on paid administrative leave. Per his parents' request, the student has been removed from the teacher's class. Reader told KOB, if it's not for parents like me in interracial families to stand up and say it's time to stop this. It's time to stop. I have to fight for my boys. The last news is fierce battles in South Sudan capital leave 26 dead. Fierce battle raged on Tuesday in South Sudan's capital, Juba, witnesses said, as troops loyal to the president fought off an alleged coup in the world's youngest nation. The continued gunfire, including the sporadic firing of heavy weapons, resumed in the early hours of Tuesday and went into the morning as terrified residents barricaded themselves in their homes or were attempting to flee the city. South Sudan's Under Secretary for Health Marker Korean said on local radio that at least 26 people had so far been killed in the violence. At least 130 more are reported to have been wounded. We can still hear sporadic shooting from various locations. The situation is very tense. Emma Jane Drew, on the British aid agency Oxfam, told AFP by telephone from Juba. It's continued shooting. Shooting could be heard of all through the night. We don't know who is fighting who. She added, saying her team was unable to leave their compound because of the fighting. The fighting began late on Sunday. The South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has accused Trump's lawyer to his rival, former Vice President Riek Machar, who was sacked from the government in July for attempting a coup. President Kiir had also said Monday that his troops were in full control of the security situation in Juba, and imposed an overnight curfew on the city. Thousands of civilians have reported taken refuge at UN office, and an AFP reporter said many residents living areas close to military bases were using any lure in the fighting to flee for safer areas. Also, many said they were too afraid to move. We are afraid of going outside, said Juba resident Jane Keaton. We had wanted to go out and buy food from the market, but how can you go with the shooting? I am staying at home with my children. There were unconfirmed reports of troops conducting violent house-to-house searches. We have heard unconfirmed reports of house-to-house military checks of civilians, including the use of brutality and violence. So this is unconfirmed, Oxfam Drew said, raising concerns of an ethnic dimension to the fighting. It's a very strong possibility. We have certainly received reports of that, but we are locked in the compound, relying on word of mouth, she said. Oil-rich but impoverished South Sudan won its independence in 2011, after its people voted overwhelmingly in a referendum to expel from the north and form a new nation. But the country has struggled with ethnic violence and corruption, and the political tensions have worsened in recent weeks. between rival factions within the ruling party. The Sudan's People Liberation Movement (SPLM) Marcher leads a dissident group within the SPLM and had been seen as the main challenger to Kiir. The rivals hailed from different ethnic groups and had in the past fought on different sides during Sudan's civil war.